There are many names that are ascribed to Jesus, but one of my favorite names is that of Mighty God. In Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 6, it talks about him as being the eternal Father, the Prince of Peace, the wonderful Counselor. But then it says that he is Mighty God. And I want you to know that Jesus is Mighty God. He was the Son who was given. He was the child who was born, whose name is Mighty God. I remember a number of years ago, I was in the city of East Berlin when the city was divided, and I met an old pastor who had spent time in prison because he refused to Heil Hitler. He said, "I'll only give praise to Jesus." And during that time, it was very difficult for Christians, and they suffered for their faith in Jesus Christ. And he told me about a meeting of atheists, 100,000 atheists who were going to be gathered in the city. And he said, "I want you to come and share Jesus with them." And I said, "Well, I don't know if they would permit that." And I'll never forget what he said. He pointed his finger in my face and he said, "Young man, our God is a mighty God." Now, I want to tell you what, he knew God. He knew Jesus as Mighty God. We went to that meeting. Two friends of mine and myself went there, and we saw God do extraordinary things. We saw God work in such a mighty way. He proved himself as being Mighty God. Now, some of you may be saying, but Sammy, wait a minute. There's a lot of people who think their God is Mighty God. Why do you think Jesus is the truth? Why do you think Jesus is the one who is the Mighty God? Why do you think that? I want you to know that there's no person like Jesus. He's the most unique person who ever walked the face of this earth. All God, all man, Son of God, Son of Man, the Bible calls him. And you know how we know that? Because he lived as a person. He walked with human flesh, just like you and me. But I want you to know something. He walked up to the lame man and he said, "Rise up." And he who could not walk began to walk. He walked up to the man who was blind and he gave him sight. But even more than that, he walked up to the grave of a dead man and he said, "Lazarus, come forth." And he who was dead came alive. But the greatest thing is, when they nailed him to that cross and they put him in that grave, I want you to know 3 days later, he came forth from the grave and he is alive. He is alive. And he's changed people's lives from that day until this day. He changed my life. He'll change your life if you'll let him. You can know him as Mighty God. I got to know God as Mighty God, and you can know him that way too.